Alright, well this is the back of the Dragon. Well, good morning. It's another day of being in the clouds, it looks like. It's kind of drizzling out there. I'm all packed up though and ready to go. I was at a Motel 6 in Ferry Gap and yeah, ready to roll. I've got some really neat roads to do, so let's get to it. And it's Fancy Gap, not Ferry Gap. Might as well get the name straight. Of course, it's at an intersection of a lot of things. Didn't have a great review. When I showed up, I was the only person here. There was nobody else here. But some other people came. Some people have come and gone already. And actually, I thought it was fine. It's a little run down, as you'd expect, but did the job.
Now that I'm about halfway down the Blue Ridge Mountains, I'm in one of the motorcycle mecca areas of the United States. Definitely one of the top 3 destinations. There are just great roads in every direction, and right now I'm heading to the back of the Dragon. To get there, I'm going to go through the Big Walker Mountain Tunnel. It opened in 1972. It's about 3/4 of a mile in length, and it saves a lot of time of going through the mountains by going under it. Well, up here on the right, you can see my first experience with Kudzu. That's that green vine-like plant. It's an invasive species from Asia, and like a lot of stories, it was actually heavily promoted. Back in 1935, the government would pay up to $8 an acre to plant this stuff. It was intended to replace damaged farmland, and the railroads liked it because it supported and prevented erosion on the train tracks. But by the 1950s, they decided enough was enough and they didn't want it anymore. It really takes over everything, but it does require sunlight. So although it wraps itself around the trees, if you go hiking deep in the woods, you won't see it. You just see it when you're going driving. Well, it's funny how we always jump on these bandwagons and say, hey, let's do this, and then later say, oh, that was a bad idea. I gotta say, I love this part of the country. Here I am on Grapefield Road, so I'm not even on back of the Dragon yet, but it's exciting riding. This is really fun.
Alright, well this is the back of the Dragon store. It looks like it's the brew pub. It's nice they put a little effort in. A display. A little food place. There's lots of merchandise here. Back of the Dragon stuff all over the place. And I picked up one of these placards and also a shot glass. Stay wrapped up nicely for me.
Well, they take the back of the dragon very seriously. I saw plenty of signs like this guiding me there, and now I'm on it. So let's see what kind of curves we get. There's supposed to be 438 of them in 32 miles of road and about 3,500 feet of elevation change. Let's go. Well, I hope I'm not jinxing it, but it looks like the sun's coming out. The other thing is it may be a weed, but this Kudzu, it really looks quite stunning sometimes when it wraps itself around trees or lines the road like this. And there's some views.
Nice. Let's hope I stay just below the clouds.
The whole concept of the back of the dragon was the brainchild of Larry Davidson. He said, Route 16 runs north to south. The three mountains, Big Walker, Brushy, and Clinch, run east to west. I thought this formation reminded me of the humps on the back of a medieval dragon. Other folks have uniquely named roads as attractions, so why couldn't we? And with that, the back of the dragon was born. And you do go up and down multiple times as you go over the different peaks of the mountains. The road has a few patches here and there, but in general is in very good condition. So you can go at a reasonable speed, and I was lucky and fortunate enough, I guess, to have almost no traffic when I was there. Some of the turns, like this one, are really quite sharp. Most of them are sort of medium. Even the scenery changes a fair bit. You get the Kudzu, and then you get natural forest, and then you get some open spaces with some views. So lots of different terrain to look at as well. It's a fairly technical ride because there's so many turns. You really need to pay attention and stay on top of things, make sure you're in the right gear, that kind of stuff. I feel a little funny. Every once in a while you can see my rain gear in the rearview mirror. And I guess I've been wearing it for so many days because it just kept raining on me. In fact, it rained earlier today. But now it seems I'm finally out of the rain, and hopefully for good for a while. As a motorcycle road, I have to give this a high 5 out of 5. It's amazing for all the twists and turns. I really liked it. For the scenery, kind of a 3.5. It's certainly nice scenery, but you don't get the spectacular views you might want. I was fortunate that there was almost no traffic, so that's a big win. Whether that's due to the remoteness, the fact that I did this earlier in the morning, whatever works for me. Well, as I pass Hungry Mother State Park, that kind of marks the end of Back of the Dragon. Thank you very much, Larry Davidson. This was an excellent ride. But wait, we haven't even got to the snake yet. So let's look at the map. We started in Fancy Gap, and we headed north on the 77 through the Big Walker Mountain Tunnel, and then we went west to Tazewell. And that's the beginning of the Back of the Dragon. So we traveled that down to here, and then we continued on the 16 to Troutdale, and west to Damascus and the Backbone Rock. That takes us to Shag Valley. So I went north to Bristol along the Snake, and then backtracked south all the way down towards Boone, where we spent the night. Google Maps gave me a little courtesy here just outside of Marion. I ended up taking this Old Lake Road, and it allowed me to sort of avoid the main town, but I got in close enough to see some of the farmhouses and stuff of the settlements. It was quite a neat little road. As I left Troutman on the 603, I experienced something I hadn't felt in several days. Not only was it sunny, but it was actually getting warm. I hadn't really been warm in I don't know how many days now, so this was a very welcome surprise. Well, I'm now on Highway 58 headed towards Damascus. And the neat thing in this part of the country is that there's a lot of named motorcycle roads, and Tail of the Dragon probably started the whole thing off. It's the most famous one, and I've just ridden Back of the Dragon, so there's lots of these named roads. But there's also lots of other roads. I don't believe Highway 58 has a name, but maybe it should have. This is a spectacular road, and I was just using it to connect to get myself to the Snake, another named road. So I don't know. You can't go wrong on the roads out here. Except for that. I don't think I can blame the road. I'll talk about this later, but I was slipping, and not in a nice way. My motorcycle tread is getting worn down too much, and not a good thing. All right. Well, I'm in Damascus, Virginia, and I'm about to ride a section of the Snake, and I had it on my GPS to do it. I don't think I realized it was the Snake. I'm losing track of things a little bit here. I'm going to try to center, but on the way in here I was going through some twisties, nice real twisty stuff, and I noticed I was slipping. The rear tire slipped twice when I was doing left turns, and then it really slipped when I tried to do a right turn. I had to put my foot down to keep upright. So I went really slowly after that for a while, and I checked the air pressure and it seemed low, but then I checked it again and it was fine. I didn't have it, my tool wasn't perfectly in place. So I checked it a few times, and both tires are still good for air. Tire does need to be replaced, but anyway, I'll get to work on that too. But for now, all is good again, and it's hot now. Just a few clouds in the sky, and I'm hoping we have good weather from here on out. Just past into Tennessee. Okay, we are coming up on Backbone Rock. This is also known as the shortest tunnel in the world. It was constructed in 1901 to allow train access between Shady Valley and Damascus. Well, it's a recreation area now, and there's a hiking trail, and there's also a Backbone Falls you can get to. So I won't mock it too much, but it does seem like a lot of ado about nothing.
So, there it says, US 421, Country Store, Shady Valley, home of the Snake. 1 valley, 3 mountains, 400 something curves. Well, let's go.
And so begins my adventure on the Snake. This road has roughly the same number of curves in roughly the same distance as the back of the Dragon. So once again, my back tire is failing me, and I'm getting very disconcerted. Here I am on one of these roads that's really twisty, and you want to, of course, bend down and twist with the bike into the turn, but I'm not able to do that with confidence, and that really is going to change how this experience is for me. Motorcycle riding is all about the skill of the rider and the quality of the machine, but I think another huge factor is your confidence. If you're confident in your abilities and trust in yourself, you're able to be a much better rider. And whenever your confidence starts to falter, along with the bike, it's a double whammy. Now 2 things are going wrong. And so, well, we'll just have to make do. Oh, the sun is out. Did I mention that I am finally warm? I managed to strip out of my rain gear and I'm just riding my regular riding clothes again. And that is a nice feeling, having the sun beating down on you. Probably pretty soon I'll start complaining it's too warm, but for now it's just beautiful. So Highway 421, the Snake. It's got a few really sharp twists, but mostly I find it to be fairly rolling. It's an easy road to ride for the most part, and I think in that respect it's less technical than, say, Back of the Dragon. And maybe it's not fair to compare 2 rides, because every ride is different. But yeah, the Back of the Dragon was probably the more exciting ride, but this ride is very smooth, easygoing, beautiful countryside. You don't feel like you climb as high, and a little less views, but both of these are great rides. And like I say, this part of the country, it is hard to go wrong. The Snake seems to go through more populated areas as well. It's not all remote, there's actually people living here as well. Must be something for them. I wonder how many motorcycles they see riding this road. I pulled into this boat launch just to check out the view of the water, which was awesome. That's the South Holston Lake Bridge and the Laurel Marina, which means I'm close to Bristol and the northern end of the Snake. So I basically went all the way to Bristol, turned around and rode it all the way back to Shady Valley Country Store, because now I want to ride the southern section of the Snake. Well, the Back of the Dragon has their store, and the Snake has their store, the Shady Valley Country Store. Lots of memorabilia and things here. And I saw several bikers stopping here as well. Kind of a cool place. Well, it's time to ride more of the Snake. The south side of the Snake starts off kind of slow, going through farm country, and it almost lulls you to sleep that this is just a country road. Then you hit the mountains, and quite quickly you discover this is an exciting and technical road. There are a number of sharp switchbacks on this section, and now the technical quality is rivaling Back of the Dragon. Well, there's just so many good turns here on this road, and here I am on a tire which I'm not that confident in. That's really a pain. It's my own fault. I should have been inspecting the tire more often, I guess, and the tread just got too worn. I've put a lot of miles on this trip, as you might expect, and I knew I was going to be replacing the tires at some point. I guess I'm just surprised how it went from feeling totally fine to not too nice as I go around the corners. So maybe that's just what tires do? I don't know. Let me know your experiences in the comments. I love this shot. It really captures what the Snake is all about. Well, from here I continued my route to Mountain City, which is the official end of the Snake, and then I drove onwards to Boone. Wouldn't you know it, the weather actually changed. I don't have footage of it, but it became foggy and then started to rain and it got cold again. So I terminated my camping plans and ended up getting a hotel room in the university area. It's the Appalachian State University is based in Boone, and so it was a pleasant area to spend the night. I tried to get my motorcycle tires repaired in Boone, but the only shop I found there didn't have anything in stock. But not to worry, Asheville is not that far away, and I made an appointment with Mr. Motorcycles, MR Motorcycles, to take care of things. Well, I hope you enjoyed this ride. I certainly had a blast.
Hey, I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next ride.